Sorry, I started a little bit late today, YouTube. I'm trying to figure out... Chad is blowing my mind by telling me that there are people out there who willfully leave just a couple of sips left in their drink for later, but then they never finish it, and it's freaking me out, man. Why don't you just finish the beverage? Don't say fuck you, YouTube. I don't leave it for later, I forget about it. This is why gulping will always defeat sipping, except in for alcoholic beverages. Alcoholic beverages, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you're a neutral gulper and you just start compulsively drinking it out of inertia, essentially. I think sippers have a big advantage in the alcoholic drink department. But in the non-alcoholic drink department, I don't understand the concept of leaving some around. Doesn't make any sense to me. I forgot we lost at the end of the last one. Alcoholic beverages are better to gulp? Nope, because I mean, if you're going out with a diverse group, all of a sudden you got 2 gulpers, 6 sippers, and I was always the type of beast who, even if you like, at an average 45-minute to 70-minute sit-down dinner, in all likelihood, I will consume... Well, starting with the obvious, I would consume as many glasses of water as they placed in front of me, but I would easily drink 3 or 4 glasses of water at a regular, standard sit-down dinner. As long as they keep refilling the glass, I'll keep drinking the water. Just because there's something to do when you're not talking, right? So if you apply that to the bar circumstance, which you shouldn't, but considering, you know, you train on water, you go to the bar, all of a sudden, you know, you're done your beer in like, maybe like 8 minutes, and then you look around and everybody else has only had a couple of sips, and you're like, well, now I'm sitting here with no beverage until, pardon me, they get down to the level where we can say, hey, do you guys want to get another round? But I honestly think some people take pleasure in, like, they're like submission UFC fighters. They take pleasure in, what they do is they don't go, hey, I'm going to drink 40 milliliters with every sip. They do it fractionally. It's like they drink half of the remaining volume with every single sip. So you'll look at it and be like, they got like 4 sips left, and then they take 2 sips and you're like, what the hell? They've still got 4 sips left. What the hell's going on? It doesn't make any sense. So that's why I think that the sippers have an advantage over the gulpers in that situation, where they get the better even of their blunders. But otherwise, in terms of just consuming liquid, I give it to the gulpers any day, man. I give it to the gulpers any day. Sips evil twin gulps. Now that's actually a good bit. It would go so hard to go live as gulps underscore and play play Castle Miner Z or something like that. What the hell? Bloody Penny. Did they redo the icon for Bloody Penny, or has it really just been that long? Nope, it looks exactly the same. Castle Miner Z mentioned. Of course I know Castle Miner Z, bro. Minecraft is $15. Castle Miner Z was $1 on Xbox Live Indie Games. A lot of you are saying Xbox Live Arcade. It wasn't an Xbox Live Arcade. It was an Xbox Live Indie game. You'd have to be stupid to buy Minecraft, man, when Castle Miner Z is out there at like, you know, 1/6.5 of the cost. It was the best game ever. I 100% forgot that the average viewer is probably like 8 in 2011. That's so funny. That's so funny. Why are we talking about video games? They're all bad. That is true. Hang on. I'm being yelled at from upstairs. She's all right. She said, Dad, I need help right now. And I said, with what? And she said, I'm trying to pick a charm bracelet. And I said, okay, honey. She's gonna figure it out. I got faith in her. Go help her. You got a lot to learn. You got a lot to learn. She doesn't really need me to help her. What she needs, and maybe that one hurt. That one hurt, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe this actually is a good analog for like adult human behavior as well. She doesn't really want me to go up and help her pick. She wants to go up and show me the one that she has picked and then have me go. Let me rephrase. She wants me to go up and she's gonna go, which one should I wear? And then I'm gonna pick one that I think would look nice and she's gonna go, not that one. And we're gonna keep that going until I pick the one that she wanted in the first place. And then she's gonna go, if you think that's the best, then let's do that. I did not say Daryl, I'm just saying, but the other thing is I'm also telling no lies. That's the second thing you need to know. I'm also telling zero lies. You should go do it. I should, but also the way our society is structured, I get 5 hours. 5 hours to sit in my chair and say things. say the F word. And today's a Friday, so there's going to be 2 days without it. And then, next week is the holidays, so it's going to be all... Stop going into the spikes, please. It's going to be all jumbled on next week. I mean, this is precious time for me. This is where you store some Affleck Pog, so you're not doing Affleck face as much on the weekend, 100%. Lexi Thickneck, your next message determines the length of your ban. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Flash user Lexi Thickneck 22. Oh no, you're in a lot of trouble. Account created a year ago. I apologize, I go a bit crazy in streams. Oh no, I have to spend time with my daughter. You're from the 1950s, go help her. Plumbers and accountants are more competent than you'll ever be. Why are all of your business ideas scams? I study it for forestry. Okay. Ricky Gervais posting. World's least enlightened white boy. I absolutely think you have to go. I think you've got to go. I think you're compromised. Let me just see if you've written one other thing in the audit. And I mean, these are streams. This is not like 6 months of activity. This is like 2 months of activity. You're so lucky. You're actually so lucky you bailed from chat and I forgot exactly how to spell your name, but I am going to find it. Give me a second here. It was Lexi. Wait, thank you. Thank you for adding them so I could find them again. User. There they are. 07. Fair enough. Okay, 07. The @ was crazy. The @ was insane. You've done me a great service and I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. You're banned for an amazing reason. Also, pissing me off because you don't study forestry in high school. You're old enough to know better than that. Also, what kind of decrotive fucking college student is wilding out in Twitch chat on winter break? Go do drugs. What are you doing? That's insane. It's December of like sophomore year on winter break. That is like prime drugs with your high school friends time. You will never get another opportunity. What are you doing? That's insane, man. You literally can't say that. I was talking about Tylenol. the woke acetylsalicylic acid. Let me see here. Ooh. And I've been anointed by God because I got a good item after dressing you down. It's got a sting. It's got a sting. 30 stream streak! Well, thank you. Thank you, good sir. You got no devil deal item? It literally preserves an angel deal. I think. Librarian, can you back me up on that one? I think it preserves an angel deal. Holy cow, 40 stream streak? That shit takes you back to like the spring. What's your streak? It is kind of crazy. I know that like this is obvious, but I think also if you think about it, it'll blow your mind. It is insane that I've seen every stream I've done and every YouTube video I've ever recorded. That's fucking horrifying, man. No 37-year-old person on planet Earth should have ever experienced this much Twitch and YouTube to the forehead. That's really, really scary. Now, obviously, I mean, I was going to say there's no way around it, but I guess you could do what that one guy did and just start having, like, an AI version of yourself record all the videos and then be like, this is awesome. That's VDan? No, VDan is just a virtual tuber, man. That's two different things. I forgot what half this shit does, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna take this and use it, and if whatever it gives me, honestly, I can be thrilled with that. And then you hold this and you use it on a deal with the devil, if I remember correctly. Huge. Eggnose Isaac? More or less. NL, did you watch the Diddy doc? No, but I'm gonna resubscribe to Netflix this month because I need to see the Jake Paul fight tonight. I've recently decided to get into boxing, and I think this could be a great starter fight for a fellow like me to get interested in. And then maybe after that I'll watch Wake Up Dead Man. Gonna watch a man get killed? No, man. Anthony Joshua is pretty good. I think he can hold his own. I wouldn't count out Anthony Joshua just because Jake's the GOAT. Hold. Hold. Jake beat Tyson. Of course he's the GOAT. He both beat and lost to Tyson, which is crazy to think of. Two different guys, but like, is everybody in boxing named Tyson? Tyson, are you in chat right now? No Canucks game? I don't even want to talk about the Canucks. I'll start going to Canucks games when they start losing again. I do not want to see any fucking wins with a stat line like, oh, goals scored by Liam Ogren and Kiefer Sherwood. I don't want to see that shit anymore, okay? I don't want to see, oh, with his first career hat trick, Louis Reichel. I want to see the Canucks put up a valiant fight and lost 4-2 to the Utah Mammoth. That's the only headline I want to see for the rest of the year. Stop shooting me with bullets. I don't know how much health I have. They're actually called the Mammoth? They're called the Mammoth for an amazing reason. Actually kind of a sick logo / name combo in my opinion. And I want to say, and this is maybe partly a product of being someone who was a child in like the 1990s, I like that they got a cool arcade style name, like the Kraken, like a mythical creature. So I felt like for a while we got like too austere with like sports merchandise and branding. Like for a while it was like every team was named like the Extreme Sports Skateboarders, and then we got sick of that. And then every team became like, we're the Los Angeles Football Club, and then the jersey says like Los Angeles across from one shoulder down diagonally to the other one. And they did it for like 15 years. Every third jersey was like, what if we took our team name and just made it go diagonal across our shirt? And now I feel like the NHL's learning a little bit from the NBA, and they're like, let's get some personality going again. I mean, you spend the $500 million on the franchise, I guess you can name it whatever you want, but I appreciate being a little bit more entertaining with it. Chat, how many courses for Christmas dinner? Not trying to make anybody have the worst Christmas dinner of their life. I'm gonna say 1 course, but buffet style. For me, a course requires a delineation. We bring out the bread, everybody talks for a minute, we bring out the salad, then we bring out the soup, then we bring out the main. No, I think it should be everything. You should have to use fucked up dishes on Christmas dinner. Because all your good, you put the turkey on like your good platter, but then you're like, oh, what am I gonna put the mashed potatoes in? Fuck it, we'll just scrape them out of the pot. You should be using flatware that you inherited like from 6 landlords ago on Christmas dinner. That's the way it should go. Fuck this. Continuum? What's a Christmas soup? Buddy, you're the one who started talking about how many courses should Christmas dinner be. Soup is a course, bro. Maybe I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2. All dessert at the end and all other courses at the same time. So it should be a 2-course meal. Might need some help here. Does anyone know what this is, man? Does anyone know what this item does? You gotta... It depends on the character? Oh, brother. Oh, no. It's a wiki Andy. Warriors don't know how to read books, man. Leonard Nimoy. What about buffet style? I mean, if you got the cloches for it, then don't let me stop you. Youch. Alrighty. What about a little pre-dinner appetizer? Like, are you talking about like a shrimp cocktail or something like that? Yeah. Oh, I picked the wrong item, but it was the right item. That's actually huge for me. We can't lose now. I love an appetizer, an hors d'oeuvre, a platter, shrimp cocktail, crudité, charcuterie, stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have noticed, or maybe it's just that I'm now reaching an age where like people, I guess, are health maxing a lot. Nobody's eating that stuff anymore, man. I feel like every function I find myself at, there's way too much food, and nobody is doing the charitable act of eating the food that the host provided. They're going to like the cheese and meat platter, and they're getting like 1 piece of cheese and going, this is good, and then never touching it again for the rest of the night. They're not sampling multiple cheeses. They're taking 1, usually like medium hardness cheese, leaving the weird ones, maybe performatively grabbing like a couple of olives or something like that off the platter, but not really going to town. Sadly, because it is a carcinogen, you have an obligation, if the host has provided food, to eat more than you otherwise would eat. I'm gonna I should say. I'm gonna say it, man. Because you might say, well, what's wrong with leftovers? Nothing until you host a party and then you have 40% of 20 different things as leftovers, but you only have 1 fridge. So you gotta dig in, I'm afraid to say. I always try to dig in at the kids' birthday parties, man. Tell people to bring a Tupperware. Actually, low-key, it is nice to... I think I've gotten the reputation as like a farm animal, essentially. So anytime I take my kid to a birthday party, people are giving me all sorts of food when I leave, which is actually awesome. Last one I went to, I took like 6 bottles of water and I think like 8 bags of popcorners. And I was like, this is sweet. This is awesome. Piggy needs his trough filled. I did have to say, I started having to say no to pizzas though, because like they always bring pizzas to the kid's birthday party, and then there'll be like 40 kids, and they'll get like 15 pizzas. I don't know if you know this, the average 5-year-old does not eat 5 slices of pizza. They eat maybe 1 slice of pizza, or 2, and like eating so little of it because they're afraid of the crust that they leave like a 2-inch radius around the crust just so they don't accidentally touch any crust at all. So there's always pizzas to be inherited, but it got to the point where it was just like too much, man. You were a 5-slicer as a kid? I was a 2-slicer as a kid. And then, for no reason at all other than, like, because I could, I think I became, like, a 4-slicer as an adult. And then I kind of walked it back to being, like, a 2-slicer again, to be honest. Ain't no need for all that. The thing is, you know, I was going to say it doesn't go bad. Pizza can go bad. I'm just not sure that it ever has gone bad. Because it's a very draftable leftover when it's in your refrigerator. Oh, fuck. I don't even know what this thing does. I'm not touching it. Like, you need a quick breakfast? Couple of slices of cold pizza. Quick lunch? Pizza in the air fryer. Oops, you forgot to cook your kid's favorite pasta in meal prep, but they need to eat something because you're having sushi? Okay, slice of pepperoni pizza in the air fryer. Like, it goes crazy. Which has more calories, cold or hot pizza? Hot pizza has more calories because heat is energy. It's that simple. Cold pizza burns more calories because your body has to warm up the temperature of the pizza to your body temperature. Ergo, it's actually like a weight loss strategy. These are obviously garbage. No lies. I think mathematically it's true. That being said, I do also think to warm up a piece of pizza to body temperature from like 4 degrees Celsius probably takes like, I don't know, like 1/8 of a calorie or something like that. Also garbage. I can feel a sneeze coming up, man. I don't think it's 6 or 7 calories per slice. That would be good, though. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the meme. What a fucking sick joke this game just played on me. Stop. Mods, you might have to do something about Fish Cigarette. They're freaking out. They're having a depersonalization episode. I think you for their own safety you might have to get them out of here. I'm not sure. Why do you have stats and found items off? You're basically like asking why did Charles Atlas pick up trapezoidal weights? That's what fucking existed when he was getting jacked, okay? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know what an item description or a stat is. Isaac was designed with vibes in mind, and it will be played to this day with vibes in mind. I am anti-science about one thing, and that one thing is the Binding of Isaac. We were not meant to know what tears down meant, mathematically and quantitatively speaking. We were just meant to know it's bad, and we should get as few of them as possible and as many tears up as possible. You weren't meant to know your sleep score. You were meant to wake up and go, I feel kind of weird today. But I don't know why. I got 8 hours of sleep. That's the way it was supposed to be. Well, obviously it's gotta be this. Ride the Peloton without wattage then? No, I'm not going to do that. The reason I'm not going to do that is because I had to lock in today and ride the date because it didn't seem like anyone else was going to do it. I had to get 12:19 today because it seemed like I was the only fella that was up to the challenge. Give me supper over breakfast. I'm that type of guy. I think we're out of here. Why don't you just estimate it, you big baby? You're literally like, you see how hurt you are when I insulted your your Wahoo kicker or whatever, your whoop score or something? Bro, you're not your Apple Watch. It's okay. You know, your feelings don't need to get hurt. It's okay. You can put your sleep score on your LinkedIn profile if you want. What my sleep score told me about B2B sales and stuff like that. It's literally the Christmas season. You're getting mad over nothing. But okay, don't let me stop you. Maximum I would do is Pokemon Sleep. Because at least you're getting something out of that. You're getting a digital Pokemon. Non-fungible, by the way. Put my resting heart rate on LinkedIn. Not a bad idea. Honestly, I'm not even... Hold. I'm not even fucking with you. I felt like my heart rate was a little high last night. You wouldn't know it because I like to never complain about anything. But I've been a little sick over the past week. I've had some vasodilation issues and a little bit of a sinus tickle. And I was like, why is my heart rate so fast? So of course, in bed, I Googled online heart rate checker. And then I took my pulse while pressing the little heart on the screen every time my heart beat. 56, bro. I'm not complaining about that. 56 while sick. I can live with that. Hold. No more donations. You are not your heart rate, bro? I'm going to disagree with that because it serves me well. Who says vasodilation? I remember I was saying, like, one time I was like, why, when you're sick and you climb the stairs, this was years ago. I said, why when you're sick and you climb the stairs, does your heart rate go crazy? Someone in chat, who obviously understood the best way to get information to enter my broken brain, said, vasodilation type shit. And ever since then, that sentence has just... Anytime my heart rate spikes doing something normal, I go, my vaso must be dilated as fuck right now. What does it mean? I can understand it from the breakdown of the two participles of the word, but like I don't really understand what it means on a biological context, which is very funny. Vein get bigger? When you're sick, your veins get bigger? What the hell's going on? The chainsaw's back, man. Are you hearing this? Holy fuck, that's loud. What the hell is going on out there? Gee, chill! Chill! Hey! Hey, keep it down out there! Thank you. Jesus Christ, man. People are trying to work, dude. Oh. I don't know, I guess my neighbor's just like chopping some shit up. Oh, he's carrying a lot of like big wet garbage bags out to the garage, and saw him moving a couple chest freezers in there. Must be getting ready for Christmas dinner. I'm literally not even worried if he is a serial killer, because A, he's chill with me, and B, even if he was a serial killer, I think he'd be like one of those Dexter Morgan types that like has a code or whatever. He only kills people that are like worse than him, aka it's like the spider of serial killers. Like, oh, you shouldn't imprison Dexter Morgan. He kills worse killers. Excuse me, I did not say he only kills escorts. That you're trying to get me fucking killed. First the gulping versus the sipping, and now that. I did not say that. Never did I say that. Come on, man. Did you guys see Puka Nakua got 46 fantasy points last night? I popped into the Discord at the end of the game, and so I think Apollo said, hey, congrats on winning this week. I'm not playing him, by the way, but he said, congrats on winning this week because of Puka Nakua. And I said, no! No! I forgot to bench him! I was gonna bench him, but I forgot to open my phone! I was gonna bench him out of principle! No! He did what? Oh, I was gonna bench him, and then he put up 220 yards and 2 touchdowns on 16 receptions. Oh my god, this is horrible. This looks so bad for me. Is that good? It's like, I mean, like, it's not good. It would have been better if, like, the universe punished him and he, like, had a horrible game or was, like, suspended by the NFL or something like that. But in fantasy terms, yes, he had, like, an unbelievably incredible game. And still lost. Which is punishment in a manner of speaking. Then he blamed the refs. Yeah, I saw. My Discord is keeping me abreast of all the Puka Nakua stuff that he's getting up to, because I'm off social media, and oh fuck. Wait, maybe this is awesome. I have to say, I think it's funny that. And let me finish the sentence. I think it's funny that he said so many stupid things on one stream that it's actually taking like days for all of the stupid shit to percolate out to the media. Like, it's the same way people have been studying the Bible for like 2,000 years. You'd be like, well, there's only like, I don't know, 1,100 pages or something like that. How long could it be? They keep finding new wrinkles of study in the Puka Nakua stream. Right, like I only knew the anti-Semitic stuff, and then yesterday you guys told me that he doesn't believe that concussions are real as long as you don't think about them, which is obviously incredibly stupid but incredibly funny as well. Like, it almost in an alternate universe sounds like something I could see myself saying if I was like a professional athlete instead of a streamer. But then saying that as a professional athlete he doesn't eat vegetables because they cause inflammation is just like, this is a historical level run in like one disastrous podcast appearance, man. Like, it's crazy. This guy sounds like he rocks. Well, I would wait until you see the other stuff that he said. But so, if he hadn't said some of the stuff that he said, you would actually be like, it kind of rocks that he owns being stupid, because he was also ignorant in a very offensive way. It's not cool stupidity anymore. Like, it's not being a himbo who's like, I only eat chicken fingers, and also I have, like, I'm the best wide receiver in the NFL. Instead, it was like, oh, he's not a himbo, because he actually thinks he's smarter than everybody. But nephew might figure it out. He's still a kid. He's only 25. Possibly the oldest kick viewer on the planet. Oh, he's 20. Sorry, he's 24. He's 24. My bad. My age, and he's doing all this crazy stuff. Well, how many looks did you get last night, nephew? Nah, I'm just playing with you. You can be part of the smoke circle. Need to get some kind of carnivorous weed if we want Puka Nakua in the smoke circle, because I'm pretty sure, like, taxonomically speaking, I'm pretty sure pot is a vegetable, if I had to guess. It's grass. I don't see how it could not be. Nightmare NFL blunt rotation. So what, I'm gonna just say something that I think is gonna be controversial. I don't want to smoke salvia with Aaron Rodgers, but I think it would be, as long as he was the only crazy person in the circle. Sometimes the blunt rotation needs one conspiracy theory guy. And it doesn't mean you are like, please educate me about conspiracy theories. It just means you just need like a pinch for flavor. You know? Does it now? It can add to the atmosphere a little bit, as long as, like, afterwards, you know, when he leaves, you look at the other people and you go, the hell was he talking about? Absolutely, man. I'd rather hang with Phil Rivers. I know Phil. Oh my God, playdate at Philip Rivers' house would go so crazy. I know he has like a 3,000 square foot basement where the kids can just go fucking crazy, man. I know he's got like soft surfaces and like lots of toys and electronics and stuff like that. I know he's got like a pool table and an air hockey table down there where like you can just bring your kid over, and then they go, kids are downstairs, and then your kid goes ta 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 ta, and you guys can just chill in the kitchen. Oh, Philip Rivers' house is the ultimate spot for the family play date for sure. Holy cow, that was, wow! I'll be honest, we don't really need Holy Mantle, but it's good stuff though. Yeah, I know. I'd be like, sure, your house? I'd be sending texts like that. Your house? Nerf darts everywhere. One of our friends has a basement, which is a flex here. And like the upper, like the ground floor and the second floor of the house are for like human beings with dignity, right? They're relatively tidy, you know, made for grown-ups essentially. And then the basement is just like, it's no man's land, kids' domain. All fully carpeted, tons of cushions and stuff like that, just toys everywhere. It's the dream, man. I think it's like that. If we have cousin video games, there should also be cousin spaces. And like a slightly unfinished basement that is just like the kingdom of all the children at the function is a cousin space for sure. Cousin Planet. Cousin Planet is like a basement that smells like a used bookstore. And by the way, if you ever find yourself, if you're like 4 and you're watching this, pay attention to the people that you meet on Cousin Planet, because when you're 17, you're gonna go to a family reunion, and they're gonna go like, "Oh, you remember Jason, right?" And you and this stranger are gonna look at each other in the face and go, "Oh yeah, I think we met once when we were both 4 or whatever. Yeah, how are you?" Like you gotta pretend that you're family. Even though you know you have never seen them before and will never see them again in your life? Are there unk spaces? Yeah, garage with a beer fridge is peak unk space for sure. I also think, and it's weird, but you have to remember that an unk can also be a dad. My best friend in public school or elementary school, his dad was divorced and his house was an unk space. Like in the basement, he had like a workshop where he would work on his car, and in the workshop, there were like ripped out pages of, not even like, I mean, I guess you would call them dirty magazines, but the ladies weren't naked, they were just like in bikinis. And the magazine photos are also from like 10 years prior to when we were in the room. So and you gotta remember, this was like 1999, so they all had like that 1980s, like huge frizzy hair, and then the incredibly, I don't even, with like the 80s swimsuit that like came all the way up to like the ribs, like the straps came up to the ribs. You know what I'm talking about? The high-waisted bikini? Kinda, yeah. Were the 80s a better time? I don't know, I wasn't alive. I mean, I was alive, but I was 0 to 1. So I can't really weigh in on that. I wish I could. All right, fish cigarette, you're kind of back. You're actually kind of back. That's much better than trying to get me investigated by like the FBI. I like the comment, you had sex? Okay, where did it go? Where was the last place you saw it? That is pretty good. Have you seen my dog? Have you seen my dog? First person to have a kid with no sex, NL? Excuse me, what about Joseph? You know bro was like... All I'm saying is that we would have seen Joseph on some kind of like... Abraham, well, I guess it's not Abrahamic, right? Isn't that shit like 4,000 years ago? Anyway, the point is, wouldn't it be funny if Maury existed in like the year 0 or something like that? Wouldn't it be funny if there was like a Bethlehem version of Maury, and then... You get the idea. Maury, Maury. Mary Springer? That's not too bad, it's not too bad. That's true, you couldn't do Maury back then, because after the paternity test, they would, like, kill you, for sure. You're right, they didn't deserve Maury back in those days, because they wouldn't have been able to handle it with the relative maturity and dignity that we handled it with in the early 2000s. There would have been some real shit going on. It wouldn't have just been a dude doing like a cool, completely improvised dance or something like that. Doing the splits on the stage. I'll tell you one thing. This is the ultimate like Archie Bunker, 2025 Archie Bunker. They wouldn't... You wouldn't have Maury with the kids getting out of control back in biblical times. I'm telling you, back in my... It's like, it's not 2025 Archie Bunker. It would be like time-traveling Archie Bunker? Trying to figure out... The conceit doesn't really work. Like, my seventh daughter is going crazy. I don't respect you, father. I hold you in contempt. They'd be like, why don't you just send her to a nunnery? I don't get it. Why don't they just send her to a nunnery? Why don't they just have her committed to the convent? She's a woman of the cloth, Jerry. She's a woman of the cloth. You get the idea, something like that. Whatever, I literally don't even care if you hit me. Easiest run of all time. Okay, good, it's all bad. So the joke is that it's all bad. Nah, these are alright, actually. Boop. You know what else is crazy? Growing up watching, like, the People's Court with my grandparents. And then, so this is a rude bit, but you're literally not my grandma, so I don't give a fuck. If you say you're offended by this, you're virtue signaling, okay? Growing up watching the People's Court with your grandma, and then realizing years later upon seeing clips of the People's Court that that shit isn't real at all, and your grandma might have been a little bit stupid. Shit is fake as fuck. And don't say the people are real. The cases are real. That shit is not real, bro. I get the, oh, it's not a real case, but they sign an agreement that it's binding arbitration. Buddy, watch the clips. I'm not saying that, like, they're not held to the judgment that the judge makes in this situation. I'm saying, like, watch the clips and tell me that these people are putting forth a good faith effort to represent things realistically. Is there an episode where, like, a bigger dude sat on a lady's cat and killed it? That's not real. Did you think baggage was real? No, unfortunately, baggage is completely fake, which is why I find it hard to react to. But I actually like, and it's a weird one, I like watching other people watch baggage. And then saying, like, get him. Get him. This guy sucks. If this guy were real, he would suck ass. What's baggage? It was a fake reality show where there were like 3 bachelors or bachelorettes trying to win the heart of an individual. But the thing is, they would have 3 dark secrets about themselves. Now, I'm not saying that everybody on baggage made up their lies, or their secrets, I should say, and they were all aspiring actors who happen to live in Hollywood. But they definitely had some production plants on the show, for sure. But there is some real shit in baggage, which is like how the audience reacts to different secrets. Like, there are some times that they would be like, you know, one of the secrets would be like, I only change my toothbrush once a year. And people would be like, no big deal. And then another one would be like, I have had a divorce. And the audience would go, oh my God! Holy cow, what is going on? It's very Bush era. If you had to be there. Take me back. This is, by the way, this is the perfect time to lock in. We have a bad amount of HP because we actually can't pick up Spirit Hearts. And this is like the preamble to like, oh, how did I lose this incredible run? You lost this incredible run because you were not locked in talking about baggage. Now is the time to lock in so that you don't fuck it up. Lot of nasty shows back then. The worst is still Superstar USA, which I've talked about ad nauseum, so I apologize, but the show is so awesome that I can't believe people are not talking about it all the time. The show that was piggybacking off of American Idol, and was like, what if we did an American Idol, but instead of trying to find the best singer in the world, we were trying to find the worst singer in the world, but we told them we were trying to find the best singer in the world, so we're stringing these poor people along thinking that they're gonna be like famous and successful in their in their chosen art form, and then at the end of the episode, in front of a sold-out stadium at the Staples Center, we told them that they fucking actually suck so bad that everybody's only watching them to laugh at them. Why are you crying? You didn't even win. You're not even the worst singer. You're the second worst singer in America. Why are you crying? Don't you get it? You lost, which is good. You're a better singer than the person who won. I can't believe that made it to air. And then also, it took me a while to get radicalized against Joe Millionaire. But Joe Millionaire, where it was like The Bachelor, but they told all the women that the Bachelor was rich, and then it turns out that he's not. And it was like, let's see if they're really in it for love or if they just wanted his money. I'll spoil it for you. They just wanted his money, and you're evil because you sent out a casting call for a show where you could marry a guy who has like millions of dollars. So you're evil. You basically put out a job offer, and then all the applicants, you went, ha ha, you just wanted money. Obviously, that's the show. But when I was watching it when I was like 12 years old, I was like, these ladies ain't loyal, man. They just want Joe Millionaire for his money. These ladies are making me sick. I'm becoming radicalized by this shit. This is a broken item, right? It doesn't work. Yeah, the worst part was like, he's a firefighter or something. So they're like, you're not a business owner, you're a firefighter? Ew! I think on the last episode, assuming that the women weren't in on it the whole time, which with reality TV you never know, but I will say that the producers were really cruel back then, so they may have actually been like pulling the wool over their eyes. But I believe on the last episode, they were like, this guy is not a millionaire. He's merely a hero. He's merely a firefighter. Do you still want to marry him? And she went, yeah, obviously. And then I feel like they quietly got, like an annulment maybe like 6 weeks later. But you can't, you're asking her on national TV, man. Like, that's crazy. Joe Schmo was kind of the GOAT, though, 100%. The one where he thought they made one dude think that it was Big Brother, but actually everybody else on the show were just actors, and it was kind of like a Truman Show thing. That was a rare Spike TV dub, for sure. What is going on? Remember that? Remember in all the promos he was saying, what is going on? Or not how to marry. I want to marry a multimillionaire. This is where the culture was at in 2000. I watched it was a primetime TV event, not even like a season of television. That was like a 2-hour special where a mysterious multimillionaire would pick from several interested bachelorettes, and they would get married. So we watched it for like 2 hours, right? And he eventually picked this lady named Deborah Conger. And you're gonna be like, how do you know her name? Oh, because she became, temporarily in the year 2001 or so, she became the most famous woman on the planet because of this show. And then it turns out that the guy wasn't even a multimillionaire. He was like on paper, he had like assets totaling in the millions, but liabilities totaling in like the tens of millions or something like that. That's how my parents met. All right, that's pretty funny. I got to give you that one. I can still remember the guy, too. His name was Rick something, 100%. Her name was Zelda. I don't think it was Rick Shaw. Oh. Rick Shaw is pretty funny, though. You rang? Rickle Pickle Shaw. Holy.